习。 Audio test, testing 1, 2, 3. Audio test, testing 1, 2, 3. Good morning, everyone. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer with the Board of Public Works for today, Wednesday, May 24th, 2023. Happy National Public Works Week to everyone that's listening in. For those that are joining us through the Zoom application, let's just verify you can hear us loud and clear. Arsen Vaskirchian from the Bureau of Engineering, can you please unmute your microphone and just confirm you can hear us?
Good morning. Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Arsen. Good morning to you as well. For today's agenda, we have a special recognition today, this morning, for the Asian Pacific American Heritage Month recognition for item number 1. That will be presented by myself and Matthew Castellanos. Item 2 will be presented by Pablo Hernandez. Item 3, there will be a request to continue the item. Item 4, Kevin Gresham. Item 5, Jerry Valido. Item 6 will be requested to be withdrawn. Item number 7, Ian Monte. Item 8 and 9, Vincent Chow. No presenter for item 10. If you are here to present item 10, if you can please check in with me in the front from the Bureau of Engineering, please do so that we can capture your name. Item 11, 12, and 13 will be presented by Angela Martinez. 14, no presenter required. And item number 15, David Miranda. For Bureau representatives that are joining us online through the Zoom application, thank you this morning for joining us. Should the board have any questions for your Bureau, we will open up those audio lines for you at that time. Again, this is for our Bureau representatives, Arsen Vaskirchian, Evie Pena, Michael Cox, and Dan Myers. Thank you all for being on the line this morning. And our representative from Bureau of Contract Administration, Angela Martinez, thank you for being here this morning in person. For members of the general public that would like to provide general public comment or commentary on any of the items for today's agenda, if you can please raise your hand at this time by pressing *9. If you're joining us through the Zoom application, you can click the raise hand icon located at the lower right-hand side of your screen. If you're joining us here live in person at City Hall on the 3rd floor, if you can submit a speaker card located at the back end of the room, you can go ahead and submit those speaker cards to me now. At this time, we have only one speaker card received for item number 5. Otherwise, if you would like to speak under general public comment or commentary on any of the items, please raise your hand at this time, again, pressing *9. Click the raise hand icon or submit your speaker card. Seeing no hands raised and no additional cards being submitted at this time, President Garcia, you do have all commissioners in the room, and I can go ahead and start the recording for you. Great. President Garcia, you're now in record mode.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a regularly scheduled meeting for the Board of Public Works for Wednesday, May 24th, 2023. Dr. Campos?
Good morning, everyone. Again, Fernando Campos, Executive Officer, establishing roll call and quorum. We have President Garcia, Vice President Villegas, President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioners Corzan and Reyes. President Garcia, you do have a quorum at this time. President Garcia, we do not have any callers on the line under general public comment. We also do not have any commentary under the Neighborhood Council comment section. We did receive one speaker card for item number 5 at this time. Again, no speakers for general public comment and one speaker card for item number 5. In addition to that, President Garcia, there is a request to continue item number 3 to Wednesday, June 14, 2022, if there's no objections from your board. And as much as there's no update to provide on this item, we'd like to continue this item for a couple of weeks till Wednesday, June 14th. And there's also been a request from our Office of Petroleum Administration to withdraw item number 6, and as much as we're trying to seek other alternative methods to secure these services. So at this, again, continue 3 to Wednesday, June 14th, and withdraw item 6 if there's no objections from your board.
Any objections, colleagues? Seeing none. Thank you, Dr. Campos. We'll go as is.
Thank you.
Given that there are no public comments now officially closed. Moving on to the first item on today's business, which is the approval of the minutes of Wednesday, May 10th, 2023. Is there a second to my motion to approve this item? Thank you, Vice President Villegas. Dr. Campos, there's a first by me and a second by VP Villegas to approve the minutes of Wednesday, May 10th, 2023.
Absolutely. Let's start the voting tabulation. We'll start with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corzan.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to everyone that's here in person and to those that are joining us via the Zoom platform. It is an honor to be here again celebrating National Public Works Week. We had a very special morning. This is why we had a late start. We were recognized in council as a group, all the bureau directors, bureau board commissioners, and our office administrators were there present to recognize and receive that award. I want to thank everybody that was there, but I also want to thank everybody that works under Public Works. It is an honor to be your president at this time, representing more than 6,000 men and women that work every day to make sure that the quality of life for City of LA residents is improved, it's good. We pick up your trash, we trim your trees, we turn on your lights, we recycle your water, and everything else that you need to make sure that you function as a city. So I just want to say thank you to everyone that works within Public Works. It's a tireless job. You guys work 24/7 under storm, disaster, rain, protesting, anything. Public Works is present. After the storm has died, we go in there and take care of what needs to be taken care of. So I want to thank everybody that play a role in Public Works. We're going to be celebrating all week long. We kicked off an event Saturday in Chatsworth with our new chair of council, which is Council Member Lee, and we gave away rain barrels, trees, and organic pails from Bureau of Sanitation. We had just a very robust calendar so far. Yesterday we had our 5th annual beautification conference. We had over 200, almost 300 folks that participated. We also had our Accessing LA event of the year as well, and we have a couple more events scheduled for this coming week. And we have an open house yard, and I believe that one's out in the North Central this Saturday for sanitation, North Central Yard. If you are, wanting to know more about sanitation and receive really nice swag, by the way, please visit us on Saturday at 10 a.m. It's going to be an open house for everybody to enjoy. And I just want to thank all my fellow commissioners who work very hard every day to answer the call, and just thank you so much for being a full-time, more than 24/7, 365 days commissioners for the Board of Public Works. It is an honor to work with each and one of you as well. So with that, I say, let's start this week, and we're going to start our recognition, which are very excited. We will have the National Public Works Week recognition on Friday, so please tune into that, because we have really great crews and really great work that we're going to showcase as well. Today, we have another very special recognition, which is our Asian Pacific American Heritage Month recognition, and we'll be recognizing all of you folks in a bit. So thank you for coming. Those that are here, our family members and visitors, thank you as well. Thank you so much. It is a very important week for us, and we take it as such, and we're very excited and to be part of today's event and next week's event as well. So I'll start our meeting because we have a very healthy agenda, a healthy one, very beefy agenda today. And so I just want to make sure that we get through the agenda because we have a lot of items. And with that, I say to all of us, because we never stop working, let's get to work today and finish our agenda. Thank you, everyone, and enjoy the week. Also, happy National Public Works Week to our LA County Public Work Week's counterparts and to everyone in the nation that works under Public Works. We really make the nation keep going. So thank you, everyone. And with that, I move on to item number 1. I'm going to take bids, and then we're going to move into the presentation. Item number 1 is bids at 10 a.m. will be received for the following Public Works project: Los Angeles Glendale Water Reclamation Plant, Sodium Hypochlorite Facility, Relocation Capital Improvement Project 4200, Work Order SCL 11212, for an estimate amount of $8,144,000 in Council District 13. And with that, I'll turn it over to Dr. Campos.
Thank you, President Garcia. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. For today's bid, we did receive 2 bids for this project. Again, the city engineer has estimated this project to be at $8,144,000 in Council District 13. We'll go ahead and open up the bids now. The first bid received for this project is from Metro Builders and Engineers Group Limited for a total bid amount of $7,476,197 even. That's 7476197 from Metro Builders and Engineers Group Limited. The second and final bid received for this project is from PPC Construction Incorporated for a total bid amount of $5,738,335 even. That's 5738335 from PPC Construction Incorporated. President Garcia and Commissioners, this does conclude the bid openings for today's bid agenda. We will go ahead and entertain a motion to receive, open, and declare these bids.
Thank you, Dr. Campos, and thank you, Mr. Castellano. Colleagues, any motion to adopt, receive today's bids? Thank you, Vice President Villegas. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Corson. Dr. Campos, there's a first by VP Villegas and a second by Commissioner Corson to adopt and receive today's bids.
Absolutely. Let's start the voting tabulation. We'll start with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corzine.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes. This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Madam Chair, would you like to consider this item to go forward forthwith?
Yes, please.
All right, thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Okay, then now we come for the fun part. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our colleague, Commissioner Reyes, who will lead us on today's presentation for the Asian Pacific American Heritage Month recognition. And thank you, everyone under Public Works that is also Asian Pacific. Thank you all for your work and your time to the city. And so, Commissioner Reyes, I turn the mic over to you.
Good morning. Well, we're almost at full house today. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Asian Pacific American Heritage Month and happy National Public Works Week. This is going to be a full week ahead, and thank you to my colleagues on the board. We are everywhere this month. So every year, during the month of May, we pay special tribute to the history, culture, and contributions of generations of our Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders in the United States. As a proud Filipina American, I'm honored to lead today's celebration recognizing a few of the outstanding Asian American and Pacific Islander women and men from the Department of Public Works for their achievements and contributions to the city of Los Angeles. LA is a better place because of the rich culture and diversity brought by waves of immigration from AAPI ethnic groups, which led to the establishment of historic neighborhoods like Chinatown, Little Tokyo, historic Filipino town, Koreatown, Little Bangladesh, Thai town, where last Saturday, we led a community day of service and cleaned the streets out from those little enclaves, and with the help of our community-based organizations and volunteers. So thank you for that. Our large and vibrant AAPI community has continued to contribute to the city through a strong work ethic and commitment to social activism and service, and their impact is felt in politics, business, academia, and more. And while, great strides have been made in representation and inclusion, we still have a long way to go. Almost daily in the news, we see racially motivated violence against minority groups. We continue to see a rise in hate crimes against our AAPI communities because of anti-Asian xenophobia and racism exacerbated, especially during the pandemic. We must work together to put an end to violence. The board continues to stand with Mayor Karen Bass and other city leaders in condemning hate and discrimination and taking action to ensure that all of our diverse communities know that they belong here in Los Angeles, that LA City is for all. In the Department of Public Works, we draw strength from the diversity of our workforce. We know that Los Angeles is a better place because of the contributions and viewpoints of diverse cultures. We are fortunate to have leaders, starting with Mayor Bass, who are invested in advancing equity and championing inclusion. And so today's celebration is an opportunity for us to share and elevate the stories of our AAPI workforce who participate at every level throughout public works to help us collect waste, remove graffiti, trim trees, inspect construction sites, fill the potholes, keep the streets lights, and so much more. We touch almost everything that we do here in the city of Los Angeles. And we are honored, and I'm sure each of my colleagues on the board, we are honored and pleased and privileged to recognize 7 outstanding AAPI employees for their invaluable contributions to the Department of Public Works and for providing the core services that keep the city of LA running. So we're gonna start off with our President Pro Tem, Mike Davis, who will introduce our first nominee. And here's what the process will be after the recognition of my colleagues. The individual should come up and receive a certificate, and then anybody from that bureau who would like to speak should go ahead and proceed. So we start with President Pro Temp Mike Davis. Thank you so much.
And thank you so much, Commissioner Reyes. I first want to start off thanking you for your effort to coordinate this Asian Pacific American Heritage Month celebration. And as you have stated, our Mayor, Karen Bass, as well as our City Council values diversity, and it has been the practice of the City of Los Angeles to be inclusive of the various cultures that make up us as Los Angeles, the most dynamic and diverse city in the United States of America. It is my honor as President Pro Tem to present the Contract Administration Honoree for Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, that being Kay Lee, Construction Inspector, Bureau of Contract Administration. Kay has been with the Bureau of Contract Administration since 2000, where she started as an office technician. She is Vietnamese and is proficient in Cantonese and a little bit of Mandarin. In 2003, Kay was picked up as a construction inspector and started her duties in general services for the Special Research and Investigation Division, SRID. While in SRID, Kay reviewed and approved bid proposals, contractor performance evaluation reports, subcontractor approvals, and subcontractor substitutions. Kay was and is a dependable, hardworking employee who possesses great technical skills. Because of these proficient computer skills, Kay was asked to join the payment group in 2019 to assist in processing the payments of the Bureau. Kay has since become a cornerstone of the payment group. Kay and the payment team have streamlined our payment processing so far that payment requests are now reviewed, processed, and sent to accounting in 2 days or less. Efficient. Kay believes in green energy, does recycling, enjoys coffee, walking, and trying new restaurants. With all of her demanding work duties and trying to have a social life, Kay also cares for her mother, who is in her mid-80s. Kay is very humble and shy about her accomplishments and is reticent in receiving any acknowledgement of her extraordinary value to the Bureau. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to present Kay Lee, Construction Inspector for the Bureau of Contract Administration.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Wimmer, Angela, and the board for this wonderful honor. Thank you.
Commissioner Reyes, we have Mr. Reamer is here celebrating as well. Mr. Reamer.
First of all, good morning, honorable commissioners and department family. It's good to be here and recognize and celebrate our department family. Kay is very special. I can't say enough. I was concerned about when we nominated her, would Kay want to come up and speak, because Kay is one who just does the work. But I'm mindful of the very first car that I had, and it was given to me by a family member. But I ran into some issues, engine issues, quite frankly. And I was young, I was 16, 17. So I kept washing the car, and it looked good, but it didn't run. But it looked good. I mean, if you drove by my house, you would see it in the driveway. It looked good, but it didn't run. But when I got the engine fixed, man, did it run. Many constituents in the city will never know Kaylee. Many contractors in this city will never know Kaylee. Many of our council members will never know Kaylee, but they will all be impacted by Kaylee. Kaylee is the engine in our car that makes it run well. That transmission that makes sure that when we're supposed to go forward, we do. When we're supposed to back up, we do. Kay is so proficient in what she does, and she is just no nonsense. She gets the work done, and it is my honor, Kay. It is so my honor to be able to acknowledge you. You represent your family well, your culture well. She represents our bureau well, this department well, but she represents our city well. So, Kay, I thank you. I so thank you for all that you do for all of us to make sure that our car runs well. And it's not just sitting in the driveway where people see it, but it actually runs well. Thank you very much. I so appreciate you.
Take your photo with
Over here?
Mr. Reamer. Congratulations, Kaylee. Next up, we have our VP, Teresa Villegas, to introduce our honoree for the Bureau of Engineering.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to introduce our next honoree from the Bureau of Engineering, and that is Mr. Brian Nosaka. And he is a Senior Management 1 for the Budget, Cost, and Revenue section in the Administration Division. He joined the Bureau of Engineering in July 13th, 2014, and he has noted that he feels that BOE is one of the finest departments in the city of Los Angeles, and that there's no other section, division, or department that he'd rather be in than where he is today. That is quite a feat and a good value system to have and to be connected to your work. As a section supervisor, Brian is primarily responsible for assuring that his team prepares the annual proposed budget. In addition to the budget, Brian is responsible for preparing and updating important BOE items, such as the standard fee list, the reversion worksheet, and the monthly financial status report. It's a lot of detail. Brian has assisted with the creation of BOE's billing system, the salary analysis database, and the data collection for the cost allocation plan. He serves as a liaison between BOE and personnel department staff, working closely with them to reconcile BOE's position control system and the city's new Workday HR and payroll system. His experience, along with his knowledge of BOE budget, financial matters, enables Brian to serve as a mentor to his staff as well as to other analysts and engineers within BOE. His patience, knowledge, skills, and abilities to be able to make him recognized in the Bureau-wide liaison for all the things budget, finance-related, and have allowed him to pass on this knowledge to others within the Bureau. We are honored and excited to recognize Mr. Brian Nosaka today. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. I will thank the Board of Public Works, also the executive team at BOE, and especially Robert Karamatsu and Glenn Morimoto for their guidance and supervision. Also want to thank my team, past and present, for none of this could happen without them, and my family also for their support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Glenn Morimoto. I'm actually Brian's supervisor. And I think in addition to what has already been said, it's impressive to me that he also contributes outside of his job here, does some volunteer work for the community, all at the same time raising a family. He's got kids. I find that both impressive as it is encouraging for me as a parent. Maybe I'm underachieving a little bit, but he's very impressive. So I think this is well-deserved, and thank you very much.
Hey, good morning. Ted Allen, city engineer. I didn't think I would be able to make it in time. That's why we have two speakers again, but I'm glad I was able to make it because I really didn't want to miss this. I was coming from a commencement at Cal State LA. I want to thank the board for your, again, recognizing the many great cultures we have in the city and for recognizing the great exemplary employees that represent those cultures. And I also wanted to just, there are so many things Brian did, and thank you, Commissioner Villegas, or Vice President Villegas, for reading those off. But just so many of them have so much depth. The Bureau of Engineering, we have over $100 million budget. Someone has to put all that together, and Brian is one of the key people that does that. And also with the various funding sources that we have, the billing system and the salary analysis tool that are mentioned, that took us years to put together, more than 40 funding sources we have, and analyzing what we're spending out of salaries out of all of those. And very, very few people would be able to do something with that depth and technical expertise required. And Brian has been a key component and very valuable to our team. We're so happy to have him, and I'm so thankful for you for recognizing him today. So thank you.
Wonderful.
Congratulations, Brian. I'm up next, and it is my honor and pleasure to recognize Gwen Doan, Management Analyst of LA Sanitation and Environment. So Gwen is a highly accomplished professional with a diverse background in finance and management. She graduated from UCLA in 2003, earning a bachelor's degree in business economics with a minor in accounting, and her educational foundation has provided her with a strong understanding of the financial aspects of business operations. Her city career began in 2005 when she joined the Bureau of Engineering as a management assistant. During her time there, Gwen excelled as a budget analyst, demonstrating her aptitude for fiscal analysis and strategic financial planning. She was promoted in 2008 to the role of management analyst within the city clerk's election division. So in 2016, Gwen embarked on a journey to Senior Management Analyst 1 within the Financial Management Division of LA San, and her role involved collaborating with 6 solid resources divisions to manage 11 solid resources special funds. And in 2002, she was promoted to Senior Management Analyst 2 within LA San, and in this elevated position, she assumed responsibility for overseeing the Financial Management Division Solid Fiscal Monitoring Section, further solidifying her reputation as a capable financial steward. She is responsible for planning and developing annual budgets for the Solid Resources Program, very important, and she assists division managers with program development and capital improvement expenditure planning. As the sanitation lead for the sales of the Solid Resources revenue bonds, Quinn assumes a crucial role in managing the financial aspects of these bond sales. She diligently monitors debt finance expenditures, ensuring compliance and optimizing financial outcome. Quinn's extensive experience and diverse skill set make her an invaluable asset to the LA Sanitation Environment and the Financial Management Division. Congratulations, Quinn. May we have you at the mic. Where's it? There we go.
Thank you so much, Commissioners. I'd like to thank the LA Sands executive team, as well as my boss, Eva Sung, and my team here from Solids Resources section. And I'd like to thank my family as well for their support. But thank you so much.
Good morning, Commissioners and fellow Public Works colleagues. I'm honored to be here to present during Public Works Week, but also during the AAPI month. I'm Robert Potter, I'm the Assistant Director in the Bureau of Sanitation, and I'm here to recognize Quinn Doan from our group at LA San. Quinn joined the LA San FMD team in 2016 as a Senior Management Analyst 1, and she quickly demonstrated her exceptional abilities, earning a promotion to Senior Management Analyst 2. One of Quinn's outstanding qualities is her dedication. She approaches her work with meticulous attention to detail, ensuring accuracy and precision in every task. And I know that because every time I submit a report, she tells me where I made my mistakes. Her analytical mindset and proficiency with numbers greatly contribute to her success in tackling challenges and managing the complex, and that's an understatement, solid waste resource rate model. Beyond her technical expertise, Quinn possesses exceptional interpersonal skills. She has the ability to tell people they make mistakes without hurting their feelings, and is a true team leader. She fosters a collaborative environment where she encourages and supports her colleagues to achieve their best. Outside of work, Quinn cherishes her role as a mother of 2 daughters, ages 8 and 9. She takes care of her parents and finds joy in spending quality time with her family, engaging in activities such as cooking, watching movies, riding bicycles, and even painting together. Quinn's commitment to her family reflects her strong belief in traditional Asian Pacific American values, including strong work ethics, respect for elders, and the importance of strong family ties and the intergenerational relationships. Congratulations to Quinn for her well-deserved recognition. Her exceptional abilities, her dedication, leadership skills, and commitment to upholding traditional values make her an inspiration to her colleagues and an invaluable member of our LA San team.
Next up, we have Commissioner Vahid Khorsand introducing our honoree from the Bureau of Street Lighting.
Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. Before I introduce our street lighting honoree, I just want to say something real quick. I really enjoy these presentations, not just because we get to hear about all the great work some of our employees do, but seeing this room filled with so many family, friends, and colleagues, we all take our work home. And no matter how much we read about all the great things you're doing, you have bad days, you have bad moments, and you take it home and you share it with someone. And it's great to see that those individuals, whoever they are also here in the room to hear about all the great work you're doing, that you're being recognized. So kudos to all of you and your support systems for helping you make the great employee, and as Inspector Reamer said, the individuals behind the scenes and the motors that make our city great, but not everyone gets to see. And with that, I will introduce our Bureau of Street Lighting honoree, Mark Onamura, Senior Management Analyst 2. After the recent retirement of the head of our Administration Services Division, Mark stepped into the role of Acting Chief and Division Manager. This role comes with a tremendous level of responsibility and requires coordination with all divisions within BSL. Mark has taken on new tasks and oversights without hesitation and has excelled while doing so. He manages the Bureau's budget process, all financial reporting, contracting, payroll, administrative functions, and the list goes on and on and on. There's actually a whole list here, too. Mark has been a longtime BSL employee hired as a management assistant back in 2013. Over the past 10 years, he has been a dependable and dedicated employee. No matter what assignment, what challenge, or who he is working with, he performs his work with focus, professionalism, and skill. He is a well-liked member of the BSL team and has a bright future in his city career. We commend Mark for his hard work and dedication through this special recognition today. Unfortunately, Mark could not make it here today because he's busy probably helping making streetlights better, but we do have our General Manager of the Bureau of Streetlight, Miguel Sangalong, here.
Thank you, Commissioner Gorsand. Actually, Mark could not make it because he's on a well-deserved vacation. So I think he got tired of me after budget season, and soon after requested vacation. I will say, though, two things about Mark, and I do find it interesting because when we told him that he was going to be our nominee, he was trying to politely reject it, to which we emphatically rejected his rejection of it. And part of the reason why is because he actually deserves this, right? And he also deserves time off. But he deserves this because of the context that you were starting to share. I'll share a little bit more context. It's the fact that in the course of a little less than 2 years, we've actually had 2 retirees of our chief level, right? And Mark has had to step up from being a senior management 1 to senior 2, and then having to deal with me on a regular basis and budgeting, which is not easy. And so he has grown beyond all expectations. I actually joked at one of our senior staff meetings where, you know, I bluntly put out there, there's clearly, you know, a hierarchy. There's obviously all of the director, the assistant directors, and so forth. And I asked everyone, who is actually fourth in command here? And what I replied was that it's actually Mark Yamamura. No one else knows as much about the Bureau, about all the different operations, about everything that we have to do. No one else, unless you're really following the budget very closely, no one would know that the Bureau of Street Lighting has grown 33% in terms of budget and personnel just the last 2 years. That's a massive undertaking. No one knows that or more and more people are learning that we're actually going into areas like of equity and digital divide and purposes of that. And it has been through the efforts of Mark and many others, but Mark, when coming to convince people about how we're doing this work, has been very important. So I took a little bit longer to explain a little bit about Mark, simply because I want him to hear this tape while he's on a boat somewhere fishing. And I want his family to hear how much, as you're saying, the support that you get in the background with family, it's so important for him to be able to do this work and for then the city to thrive. So thank you very much, Mark. Please catch a big one for us. We'll send a picture of him with the thing too later.
Very good.
Thank you.
Next up, our board president, to introduce our nominee for Streets LA.
Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. Miguel, you should have taken a picture on his behalf too, so you make sure that you send that over to him. Okay, there you go. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. It is a pleasure and an honor to be the board liaison to Bureau of Street Services. I love working with the Streets LA. We do many things together, but really specifically working on just any aspect of Streets LA where we plant trees, we go out there and fix potholes. I mean, just anything. And when I say when a storm happens and then who's out there, it's really Street Services who's out there the next day. So I just want to recognize all the men and women that are under Streets LA. Bureau of Street Services. But today, we have the really good and very pleasurable honor to recognize Melinda Chow, Senior Management Analyst 2 for the Streets LA Bureau. Melinda has been working for the City of Los Angeles for almost 22 years. She started her city career as a management assistant, working in the personnel department, and has successfully promoted to many different classifications and opportunities in various city departments, including Economic and Workforce Development Department, Lasers, and the Department of General Services. But she loves Streets LA more because she has been here the longest. Since 2016, Melinda has worked for the Department of Public Works, Bureau of Street Services, currently as a Senior Management Analyst 2. Her experience is extensive and vast. She's worked in various fields, including but not limited to human resources, workers' compensation, economic development, pensions, procurement, fiscal public administration, budgeting, cost accounting, grant administration, contracts, training, and development. Melinda's reputation precedes her, and everyone knows how hardworking, analytical, and dedicated she is to the organizations that she works for. At the Bureau of Street Services, Melinda has worked in multiple divisions at Streets LA, including financial management, engineering services, grant management, and now the division manager over the administration division. Melinda is a first-generation immigrant in the United States. Having arrived in the United States 40 years ago, Melinda is the first in her generation to attend college in the United States. And for that, it is an honor to recognize her today. Melinda Chow.
Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you to the Streets LA Executive Team and my supervisor, Stephanie Clemens, for nominating me for this award for basically being Asian.
No, for your good work.
I am very proud of my Asian heritage, even though I came to the U.S. As a child, at 7 years old. I really attribute my work ethic and everything and my upbringing based on my Asian culture. So that's what shaped me to be what I am today. So I'm very honored to be nominated for this award today. Thank you, everyone.
Good morning, Stephanie Clements, Assistant Director, Department of Public Works, Bureau of Street Services. It is my utmost honor and privilege to celebrate Melinda Chow, Senior Management Analyst 2 over the Administrative Services Division. Melinda and I met about 5 years ago. I was promoted to Assistant Director. I'd never worked for the Bureau of Street Services. And when you get to a new organization, you try to find out, okay, who are my allies, who are my rock stars? And right away, it was apparent that Melinda is exemplary. She's a rock star. She's always somebody I can rely on, count on. I mean, the whole Bureau, too. And it's really hard to communicate in a few words what Melinda brings to the city and to this organization. She's an incredible analyst. She's an incredible communicator, and she really, really cares. You know, anytime we get a work product from Melinda, I know it's perfect. I really don't even have to review it. I do review it because that's my job and it's my signature, but it's exemplary, it's thorough, it's vetted, it's analyzed. She puts so much passion and care into it. She will work until the job is done. And we've had talks about this, but I do sometimes get emails at 3 a.m., at 2 a.m. from Melinda, and I've told her, you can sleep, but you know, she's just got that passion and that drive, and we really appreciate it. As mentioned, she's worn many, many hats in the Bureau, financial management division, grants, contracts, HR, you name it. She's done every single type of support activity, even Workday, COVID. She was part of our small leadership team on COVID, and she really set us straight on COVID, and we would be in a world of hurt without Melinda working on COVID. In terms of grants, our grants have exploded in this Bureau. She was part of that period of time where we got new grants, and she was part of that. You know, Streets LA, like many bureaus, continues to be short-staffed. We're very short-staffed in support staff. And, you know, we recognize it's been challenging. It's been hard. You know, there's been hard times. And, you know, Melinda can do everything and anything. I have no doubt that Melinda will continue to be promoted. And I think that we need to, as a department, try to make sure she gets promoted within the Department of Public Works so we can keep her here. And Melinda, I just thank you so much for your service, and I hope we continue to work together for many years.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is yours. Is this just one? Is that one? Or is, okay, cool. Great, thank you. Great, thank you. Congrats.
Thank you so much. I also want to recognize that we have Chief Harris, Assistant Director, also from Bureau of Street Services here. Thank you, Chief, for being here.
All right, so we have two more awardees. I'm going to call on VP Villegas to introduce the awardee for the Office of Petroleum and Natural Gas Administration and Safety.
Thank you for that, and excuse my pause. I just had a little bit of the wrong script there. But thank you, President Garcia, for giving me the correct one. It is a pleasure to be able to introduce Mr. Daniel Liu. He is with the Office of Petroleum and Natural Gas Administration under the Board of Public Works. And he started in April 2022 as a senior environmental engineer in charge of the compliance section. He brings 23 years of regulatory experience and water quality infrastructure expertise to the safety and compliance section. His work in the public sector has spanned the range of all types of government, including local, regional, and statewide, a plethora of experience. In his prior role as an environmental engineer associate in the watershed protection program at the city, he led the team of engineers to manage stormwater compliant experts in the Bayona Creek, Santa Monica Bay, and the Marina del Rey watersheds. As a senior engineer for the Office of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Daniel has worked in drafting numerous RFPs and successfully kicked off the Veneco Pipeline Abandonment Project, coordinating with the Bureau of Engineering, the Office of State Fire Marshal, and numerous other contractors. Daniel also attends the California Interagency Refinery Task Force and was a key member of the Los Angeles County Refinery Modified Hydrofluoric Acid Working Group, attending numerous meetings and reviewing drafts and report backs to the LA County Board of Supervisors. And there are currently 2 refineries in the state of California that continue to use modified hydrofluoric acid, and that's the Torrance Refinery Company and Valero Refinery in Wilmington. And for those of you who don't know, that is a harmful toxin to humans, so I'm glad that we have somebody that is on top of this effort through Daniel's work. Daniel is a licensed professional, a chemical engineer with a Master's of Science in Chemical Engineering from the University of Missouri, Rolla, and a Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering for the University of California, Riverside. Mr. Daniel Liu is passionate about livable communities and are equitable and sustainable. We are happy to have him as a valuable member of our Board of Public Works. A huge congratulations to Mr. Daniel Liu, and thank you for all that you do.
Good morning. Thank you, Board of Public Works Commissioner, for honoring me for this award. I'd like to give special thanks to Dr. Fernando Campos and my supervisor, Erica Blyver, for wanting me to join their Board of Public Works Office of Petroleum Natural Gas and Safety Program. At first, I didn't know anything about the program. I didn't know the city of LA has oil in it. But Dr. Campos and Erica educate me on these issues, so I learn a lot, and I hope to continue to learn. Thank you so much.
Erica Blyther, City Petroleum Administrator. And I'd just like to say thank you so much. I'm so glad that Daniel could receive this honor. Daniel Liu is a very hard worker and always has a positive attitude and draws on his experience and creativity with his assignments. He definitely has a can-do attitude and remains flexible and adaptable to many situations. He's devoted to his family as well as his career, and the office truly appreciates everything that he does. So happy he's getting this award.
Sorry.
So Daniel, as you receive your award and take your photo as well, I wanted to also recognize you for your hard work at the Office of Petroleum and Natural Administration. Just wanted to also highlight, and Commissioner Villegas, thank you so much, VP Villegas, thank you so much for highlighting the trajectory of Daniel and what he brings to the table in terms of our oil well inspection program. But just the over 2,000 oil wells across the entire city, the 15 active wells that are out there. Daniel, you are our lead engineer that is inspecting and reviewing all these pipelines. We have over 40 franchise agreements that we have many miles of pipes, and these pipes go from anywhere from 2 inches all the way to, I think, 36 or 48 inches wide in diameter. So he's checking to see all these pipes, making sure that they're being safe, that they're not going bad or having to be replaced. So it's a daunting work. You have to microscopically look at everything, making sure that there's no cracks in the pipelines, and you're doing it not just because it's your job, you're doing it because you're protecting the public safety, right? So you're making sure that everyone is kept safe. 8 out of 16 communities are in low-income, disadvantaged communities. And so this is the job that Daniel does to protect those communities and just Angelenos at large. So I wanted just to highlight that because it's not a small task. It's a very daunting task to go through every pipeline. And although you only have two subordinates, it's a unit of 3. We are working really hard to get more resources in terms of getting more assistance to doing more pipeline inspections, and then also onboarding what we want to do. And Eric and I have discussed this regarding the compliance transparency website and just making it very transparent so that the general public can actually go online and look at the status of the pipelines, the safety of the pipelines, any notices that are happening from the state of California down to the city of Los Angeles, so that the general public is aware and educated about the safety of these pipelines. And then in addition to that, we have our goal and our vision to create dashboards and also databases so that we can have this data available for us so that we can make data-driven decisions, not necessarily reactive decision-making. So I do want to say thank you, Daniel, for all your work. We really have welcomed you in our team. We rely on you heavily to keep the public safe, and so thank you again for your hard work.
And our last but not least, an honoree from our Office of Accounting, President Garcia will be presenting that recognition.
Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. We did a slight change on this. So Dr. Campos is going to recognize the accounting awardee.
Thank you, President Garcia, for allowing me to speak on behalf of the Office of Accounting for Josephine Atencio, who is a senior accountant at the Board of Public Works. Josephine, are you here? There you are. Good morning to you. Josephine has been a senior accountant for the city with 7 years and counting of valuable experience helping Angelenos meet their daily needs by supervising staff accountants to perform well in the field of accounting, particularly in the General Fund Division of the Board of Public Works Office of Accounting. She acquired her degree in a Bachelor's of Science in Accounting at Far Eastern University in the Philippines, where she also became a certified public accountant. She specializes in accounts payable and payroll jobs for about 18 years And previously, she was with L&T Group of companies and Tan Holding Companies, both owned by the Chinese family of businessmen based in northern Mariana Island before serving the city of Los Angeles. In her current position, she monitors, checks, and reviews various documents such as invoices, contracts, council files, letters of agreements, board reports, encumbrances, reimbursements, and others. Josephine's mottos are always strive for excellence and live life to the fullest. In addition to that, I'm going to go off a little off script here for Josephine. Josephine, thank you for all your hard work. I know you go above and beyond to help others, not only in the Office of Accounting, but also the Department of Public Works, 6,000 people strong. We process more than 20,000 invoices a year, and you are in the General Fund Division. I'm going to say that again, General Fund Division. General Fund Division is not an easy division to be in. We have 2 special divisions, and then we have our sewer and construction and maintenance, which is to serve with the Bureau of Sanitation. General Fund is always the fund and the division that always is challenged in terms of resources. It's always the first division that when there ever is a belt-tightening or there's a crisis, that's the division that everyone looks at. However, it's the division that also supports the entire Department of Public Works. Again, we are the #1 super user in our financial management system known as FMS. You process thousands of transactions, and whenever we need to have a issue troubleshooted for a vendor, or we're setting up a vendor code, or we're doing a maintenance to a vendor, or maybe even a contract or an encumbrance, you're always there to help us. Jemmy, your supervisor, is always also helping us trying to troubleshoot this, and she steps up to the plate. But you have a great leader there with Jemmy and as a supervisor, and then also Miguel de la Peña as well. So just know that you have a team of folks that are behind you, supporting you, and I want to publicly thank you for that, because General Fund Accounting is not an easy task, because there's so much falling in that division, a lot of demands that are made in that division. So thank you publicly for all you do.
To honorable commissioners and members of the board, I am deeply honored and extremely grateful to be chosen as one of the awardee or recipient of this prestigious AFAM award. And I am truly humbled by the trust and confidence you are giving me. And with that, I am motivated and being committed to maintain the highest level of performance and dedication to the jobs assigned to me here in the city of Los Angeles. And also, I would like to thank my assistant director and manager, Jemmy Tam, and also my staff over there and my colleagues for the unwavering support being given to me in order to carry out the day-to-day activities at General Fund Division. Thank you.
Good morning, commissioners. I would like to thank you, Josie, from the bottom of my heart, because my understanding is she was worked in special fund before, and she took the new challenges to handle general fund during the most difficult time, the pandemic, and also staff turnover of the SIP program. And also thank you from Miguel as well. He cannot make it, he's in the conference today. And also thank you for everybody for your support and the board, and Dr. Fernando Campos. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, we're going to come to a close. Let's give one more round of applause to all our honorees. Kay Lee, Brian Nosaka, Quinn Doan, Mark Yonamura, Melinda Chow, Daniel Liu, and Josephine Otencio. Thank you for all you do. daily to deliver the vital services that make our neighborhood safer, cleaner, and more livable for more than 4 million residents throughout LA. You all play a key role in building and maintaining the critical infrastructure system of the second largest city in the nation. And your accomplishments show us the importance of diversifying our workplaces and creating those opportunities for more AAPI representation. Representation matters. We all know that. Your stories help others believe in all of the possibilities that exist for them. Let's continue to lift also our voices and center our actions towards equity and justice. And it's also important that Asian communities be in solidarity with the Black, Indigenous, and communities of color and show up with each other in Asian communities that will help create that unity. I feel immense pride in seeing so many Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders serving this great city, excelling in their careers in public service, and rising through the ranks to leadership positions. The board will continue to do its part to increase visibility by elevating the stories of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders throughout our Department of Public Works. Thank you so much for this recognition. Happy Asian American Heritage Month. We'd like to invite the honorees for a group picture at the back, and then we'll take a big group picture with all your support staff as well.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Reyes. For those joining us via platform, we're going to take about a 5-minute break while we take pictures. Everyone else, if you can join us in the back, we'll take a big group picture, and then we'll come back and continue our meeting.
Audio test, testing 1, 2, 3. Audio test, testing 1, 2, 3. Arson, are you still on the line? If you can just unmute your microphone just to confirm you can hear us.
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. Thank you again for being patient with us. We should be getting started in a few minutes. Thanks.
Thank you.
Ready when you're ready,
President?
Dr. Campos.
Let me go ahead and get started with the audio recording for you, President. President Garcia, you are now in record mode. I can go ahead and reestablish quorum for you.
Yes,
Great.
please. Thank you.
It is 12:24 p.m., establishing quorum for the Board of Public Works for Wednesday, May 24th, 2023. We have President Garcia, Vice President Villegas, President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioners Corzan and Reyes. President Garcia, you do have a quorum.
Thank you very much, Dr. Campos. Colleagues, thank you again, everyone that's joining us. It's always, like I always say, it's always hard to transition from these like very exciting moments and then we go back to business. It's just kind of like, okay, here we go. But nevertheless, we have like I said earlier, we have a very heavy agenda today, so we want to make sure we get started. Colleagues, I'm going to go a little bit off our chronological order and take item number 5 now. We have a couple visitors here, and then we have also a speaker card from our council office, so I just want to make sure that we can get folks back to work as soon as possible. So if item number 5, I'm sorry, I'm going to take it and read it into the record, and then I'll turn it over to Mr. Valito, right? All right. Item number 5, this is a request in Council District 11 from the Office of Community Beautification, Letter of Agreement, Authority for Expenditure Number AE 2374010-1M, Friends of Bayona Wetlands, Rehabilitation and Restoration of the Bayona Freshwater Reserve in Council District 11. Recommending the Board, 1, approve AFE 2374010-1M in the amount of $133,200 to the Friends of Bayona Wetlands for the rehabilitation and restoration of the Bayona Freshwater Reserve. And 2, authorize the President or 2 members of the Board to execute AFE 2374010-1M, including the letter of agreement. And with that, I turn it over to Mr. Valito. I'm going to let you do the presentation, and then I'll take our speaker cards after that.
Yes, ma'am, sounds good. Good morning, President Garcia, or good afternoon now, I guess. President Garcia, Commissioners, and Mr. Executive Officer, Jerry Valito, Assistant Director of the Office of Community Beautification. My presentation today highlights a long-anticipated project to be undertaken by the group known as the Friends of Bayona Wetlands, hereafter referred to as the Friends. Their mission statement is championing the restoration and protection of LA's last coastal wetland and educating our diverse community as stewards of nature. After 25 years of legal battles, negotiation, and mitigation, the state of California purchased the land in 2003 and in 2005 designated the Bayona Wetlands as an ecological reserve. Today, the 577-acre Bayona Wetlands Ecological Reserve is preserved in perpetuity because of the Friends' relentless fight. Also known as the Bayona Freshwater Marsh, this wetland and habitat area is located in the city of LA and is held in public trust by the State Lands Commission and managed by the Bayona Wetlands Conservancy. Over the last 2 years, the marsh was directly impacted by the lack of parking enforcement along Jefferson Boulevard due to the COVID-19 crisis. Dozens of RVs, tents, car encampments, and a variety of unhoused dwelling units were allowed to remain in place and thereby limited traditional public access to the marsh and the trail along Jefferson Boulevard. Hundreds of existing native plants and trees in the city right-of-way and along the trail were cut down, damaged, destroyed, or removed. The ecological health and public access to the marsh has significantly deteriorated due to these encampments. The Friends propose to implement the Bayona Freshwater Marsh Native Landscape Rehabilitation Project to repair the area in the city's right-of-way situated between the street and the public access trail along Jefferson Boulevard. Council District 11 will partner with the Friends in this endeavor, and on November 9th, 2022, the City Council approved a motion to effectuate this partnership. CD11 accessed a portion of its street furniture revenue fund and transferred $133,000 $200 to the Board of Public Works contractual services account to be used by the Friends for ecological rehabilitation surrounding the Bayona wetlands. This rehabilitation project will improve the health and longevity of this environmental asset while ensuring public access as required by the California Coastal Act. The Friends have estimated the expenditures for this project to be broken down as follows: native landscape repair and replacement at $62,000, right-of-way repair at $41,000, and oil and grease cleaning at $30,000. At this time, I would like to request that the board approve the authority for expenditure number AE 237-40101M in the amount of $133,200 to the Friends of Bayona Wetlands for the rehabilitation and restoration of the Bayona Wetlands in Council District 11. Additionally, today we have Mr. Scott Culbertson, the Executive Director of the Friends of Bayona Wetlands, Mr. Jim Burton, who is the Project Manager for the Bayona Wetlands Conservancy, and Mr. Sean Silva, who is representing Council District 11, present today to say a few words on behalf of this project and to respond to any questions that the board may have. This concludes my report.
Thank you so much, Mr. Valido, for your very thorough report. I'll call public comment now. We'll start with Sean Silva from Council District 11.
Good afternoon, Honorable Board members. Sean Silva from CD11. We are here today to join in on the chorus of people who are asking us to take a stance on this important project, and we're here to signal our full and complete support for the rehabilitation and restoration of a singularly important ecosystem in our district, the wetlands, the Bayona wetlands. In our short time in office, we have been working with all deliberate haste to restore the site as much as possible. Work continues, of course, on the city side. As the staff report notes, the ecological health of the wetlands is in jeopardy and public access remains limited. In its most recognizable and accessible section, the freshwater marsh, there has been significant deterioration over the last few years, and many of the concerned individuals and groups advocating for its restoration, many of our constituents, have asked that before it's too late, we see this funding through. Today, with the transfer of funds, we can be assured we are on that right path. Tomorrow, the sun will rise on a better future for the wetlands with this funds in the right hands. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sean, for your presence here today and for your advocacy as well. Thank you. Next speaker, Scott Culbertson.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Thanks for the opportunity to speak. My name is Scott Culbertson. I'm Executive Director of the Friends of Bayona Wetlands. The Friends is a nonprofit organization that for 45 years has been committed to the protection and restoration of the Bayona Wetlands. I'm here to support passage of this agenda item, thank the board for your consideration, and answer questions if you have them. Like so many communities, ours has been significantly impacted by the struggles of our unhoused neighbors. In our case, the impacts have severely impacted and harmed habitat that we're charged with protecting. Unfortunately, there's an encampment adjacent to the Bayona freshwater marsh, and residents of the encampment have greatly damaged wetlands habitat and are impacting native wildlife. Public access has evaporated. Birders and nature lovers from all over Los Angeles used to visit the freshwater marsh to enjoy its beauty and abundance of wildlife. Senior citizens would walk the public trails and enjoy the company of their friends and family. Before the encampments, busloads of students from under-resourced communities where green space is rare would visit to learn about nature and enjoy this natural habitat. The area is no longer safe, and visitation has dropped to nearly zero. It will take decades for this urban landscape to recover. The repair costs will be hundreds of thousands of dollars. This allocation of $133,200 is a great start for the ecological rehabilitation of the city right-of-way at this site. We previously submitted a comprehensive scope of work. The project will include excavation of all mulch and dirt to remove hazardous materials and waste, replacement with new soil and mulch, replanting native plants, and cultivation and rehabilitation of the area to its pre-encampment status. On behalf of the Board of Directors and staff of the Friends of Bayona Wetlands and the community of students and nature lovers we represent, we urge you to please pass this item. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker, Jim Burton.
Madam President, members of the commission, thank you. My name is Jim Burton. I'm the president and CEO of EcoKai Environmental. We're a small environmental company in Playa del Rey, working with our numerous environmental partners in the Bayona Freshwater Marsh and the Bayona Ecological Reserve. I'm also here today as the project manager representing the Bayona Wetlands Conservancy. And we are the border, we manage the state lands that borders the city right-of-way along the public access to Jefferson Trail. And over the last 20 years, or over the last couple years, we've seen 20-year-old trees cut down, thousands of square feet of native vegetation removed, fencing destroyed, soils contaminated. I don't want to echo everything everyone else says. I think you get the picture. But multiple instances of bicycles, e-bikes, motorcycles, even ATM machines being thrown into the water. And it's one thing we've had difficulties with the unhoused across the city. This has been an issue particularly highlighted with COVID. But it's one thing when you see it happen under a freeway overpass or you see it on a public street, but when it's in an ecological reserve, these are 20-year vegetation that it's a treated wetland that treats this surrounding area, and it's causing impacts that are irreparable harm. The step that you have today, the action before you today to transfer money to the Friends and to our neighboring partners is a step in the right direction. I urge your yes vote. I believe everyone is in full support of this, but it's really providing money in the right direction to see the rehabilitation of this land and to curb the impact on the marsh and the ecological reserve that are immediately adjacent to this area. Thank you for your time this afternoon.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sean, and thank you, make sure I get your name correctly, Scott, for your speaking this morning. Colleagues, any questions on this item? I see Dr. Davis has his light up. Dr. Davis?
Yes, in terms of this item, I think that certainly to support it is necessary, and I think that we are eager, at least I am, in terms of making this item happen. But what I have heard is an issue that really is critically important to the services that Public Works as a department provides in this city. Not only are we the steward of making sure that the infrastructure and our environment is safe, but you have raised some very detailed testimony that tells us how important it is for us to work on the social problem of homelessness, because Public Works also provides the services for encampment cleanup in the city equally as it is the steward of making sure our environment is safe. And my remarks today is centered around our need to collaborate to help resolve the entire problem, not the surface of the problem, which means that we all in our neighborhoods, our neighborhood associations, ought to figure out ways in which we can be helpful to the direction that we're getting from our mayor in terms of Inside Safe, in terms of helping to make a difference for our unhoused neighbors. It's not enough that the Sanitation Bureau for Public Works goes up and cleans out the encampments on an occasion. It takes all of us to be involved, not only with what it is that we need and what our environment and infrastructure needs, but that more importantly, a wider concern about what we need as a city. We need all of our neighborhoods, all of our interest groups to come together to find out how we can contribute in resolving the root of the problem, not only of just simply the wetlands, which is our total responsibility, but also our responsibility to solve this social problem. How can we help do that as well? So I've heard our responsibility being played out, and I think that the support is there. But I think this is an opportunity for us to embrace disruptive behavior in terms of going past what immediately impacts us to what collectively impacts us all. How can we all join in this movement that we see coming from the mayor's office in ways in which we have never seen a focus before? How can we be a part of that movement to go deeper, to resolve the real problem that we are experiencing today. So thank you so much for sharing with us your commitment to the Bologna area, and also I challenge all of us to work collaboratively together to work on the bigger problem that indirectly impacts us as well.
Thank you so much, Dr. Davis. Vice President Villegas?
Thank you. And I'll just make quick remarks. I'm glad that this item is before us. It's a big resource for the city of Los Angeles, and not to mention a big education platform for students as well, just to learn about our natural resources in the middle of a densely populated community. So I'm glad that we're doing this, and I'm hoping that the Friends of Ballona Wetlands continue to seek additional funds for the preservation and the longevity of the Ballona Wetlands. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas. I don't see any other questions or lights on. Thank you, Dr. Davis. Is there a second to Dr. Davis's motion?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas. Dr. Campos is the first by Dr. Davis and a second by Vice President Villegas to move item number 5 forward and forthwith.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll start the voting tabulation. We'll start with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corzan.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Thank you, Jerry, and everybody here. Look forward to visiting, the area soon, and we look forward to the work that you're doing. And thank you so much for having the passion and the determination to make that place suitable again. And thank you, Jerry, for leading this effort.
Thank you, President Garcia. And just so the commissioners know, if any of you are interested in the tour, Mr. Culbertson would be more than happy to take you on a tour of the wetlands. Just let me know and I'll set something up.
Perfect.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good rest of the day, everyone.
Thank you.
All right, colleagues, moving on to item number 2. This is a request from the Bureau of Sanitation in all council districts, letter of agreement to Sharp Stewardship Program Operator, Med Project USA, recommending the board to approve, 1, to approve and forward this report with its transmittals to the city council and mayor with recommendations that the city council, subject to the concurrence of the mayor, authorize the director of the Bureau of Sanitation or designee to apply for, negotiate, accept, execute, and submit all documents, including but not limited to the applications, agreements, payment requests, amendments, etc., subject to the approval of the city attorney as to form which may be necessary to receive reimbursement from the Sharp Steward Program Operator Med Project USA. And this morning we have Mr. Pablo Hernandez. Welcome, sir. Thank you for the encouragement.
Good morning. Good morning, President. Good morning, Commissioners. Thanks for having me here today. Should I go ahead and, okay. So yes, I'm here to talk about the Sharp Stewardship Program today. Just some general information before I get started. When I talk about, I mean, you guys are all aware, but for the listeners, Sharp's the medical term for devices with sharp points, needles, lancets, syringes, etc. And stewardship program basically requires manufacturers to take responsibility financially and environmentally. Like I said, my name is Pablo Hernandez. I'm with LA Sanitation, Solid Resources Citywide Recycling Division. So SB 212 passed in 2018 and established the statewide take-back program for home-generated sharps. And this program is overseen by Cal Recycle, and Med Project is the stewardship operator. This means that they will cover the costs of sharps collection and disposal, transportation at LA Sanitation permanent household hazardous waste facilities, our safe centers, if you will. So what does this mean for us? This means our operations will continue as usual, but we still pay for transportation and disposal, but we submit reimbursement requests to Med Project to get those funds back. We can start asking for reimbursement for any invoices after September 5th, 2022. There's no end date unless legislation changes, but for this agreement, we set 15 years. And then we will have to go back Cost savings is an estimated 100,000 or more per year for LA Sanitation and Environment for the transportation and disposal of these sharps. There's no limit to how much MedProject will reimburse us, and we just see these costs rising every year, at least 4.5%. So we are excited for this program to get underway. Just some extra information. We're collecting more than 35 tons of sharps every year. Well, I have fiscal years here, but same thing. Every year we collect about 35 or more, and it's always increasing. Like you said, President, we'd like to recommend the board to approve and forward this report to City Council and Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hernandez, for your report this morning. I will say that just from the get-go, I'm going to strike the designation to the Director of the Bureau of Sanitation or designee and bring it back to the board, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Ms. City Attorney, we're okay with that?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, thank you. All right, any questions on this item, colleagues? Seeing none. Okay, any objections to my amendment? Commissioner Corson?
Move to approve.
Thank you. Commissioner Corson has now moved this motion. Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. Dr. Campos, there's a first by Commissioner Corson and a second by Commissioner Reyes to approve item number 2 as amended.
Thank you. Thank you for your
Absolutely. We'll start the voting tabulation. And just to recap the amendment, and that is to strike out the Director of Bureau of Sanitation or designee and replace that with the President or 2 members of the board.
Correct.
We'll go ahead and take the voting at this time. We'll start with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corzan.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is approved as amended. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Mr. Hernandez. Was this your first time presenting here?
In person, yes. I
Yes.
did a Zoom
Well,
one
welcome.
once.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, colleagues, moving on to item number 3. This is a request in Council District 9. However, the council item number 3 is continued to June 3rd, Dr. Camp?
14.
June 14th. Any objections? Seeing none. Moving on as is. Give me a second. Item number 4, this is a request in all council districts. Amendment number 1, personal service contract, Los Angeles Black Worker Center, Workforce Equity Demonstration Pilot Program. And this is, Mr. Grisham is going to present on this item. I do not see him here in the chambers.
Yeah, President Garcia, I apologize for him not being here. I know he is aware that this item is scheduled for today at board. If you'd like, I can go ahead and present on his behalf, and I'll make it really short. The Board of Public Works is asking for an amendment to the Black Worker Center contract for an amount of $500,000. This would increase the contract ceiling from $150,000 to $650,000 so that we can continue our work in enhancing our work towards the Workforce Equity Demonstration Pilot Program. As the report indicates, that this board entered into a contract about a year ago with the Black Worker Center to launch the pilot program, what we know as WED, Workforce Equity Demonstration. The City Council appropriated $500,000 into the unappropriated balance during the fiscal year 22-23 budget, and we have asked for that monies to be transferred over from the UB over to the Board of Public Works. As soon as Council approves that, we will go ahead and have that money available so that we can amend the contract. The contract is there to provide us continuous service from the Black Worker Center to continue our recruitment, also launch our cohort number 2 and 3 and 4, and ultimately the vision is to open up the WED program if it's demonstrated successfully to other city departments across the board. Our goal for the WED program is to recruit about 200 individuals. We have recruited 31 in cohort number 1. Of the 31, 23 are successfully now at the Bureau of Sanitation employed with them. We just recently launched cohort number 2, which includes 14 individuals, all female, that are currently going through the boot camp, and that boot camp will adjourn next week, June 2nd, I believe, Friday, June 2nd. So we are requesting your board to approve the contract amendment number 1 for the Black Worker Center in this proposal. With that, I will take any questions that your board may have, and again, apologies for not having the project manager here.
Thank you so much. I was going to suggest we can, would have skipped it over until he got here, but this is fair enough. Any questions for the contract with the LA Black Worker Center? These are funds coming from Council District 10, right, Dr. Campos?
Council District 10 was one of the districts that was supporting this $500,000 appropriation. It was proposed into the budget during the budget deliberations last May, June of 2022. And here we are now asking for the monies to be transferred to us. There was a slight hiccup in terms of where the money should go in terms of the department. It was slated towards the Civil Rights and Human Rights Department. And we subsequently have discussed this with SHRED, which is our acronym for the Civil and Human Rights Department, and they allowed us to go ahead and request that funding from the UB to the Board of Public Works so that we can add it to this contract.
Great, thank you very much. Any other comments, questions on this item?
Just one clarification, is that a multi-year funding, or is that for the one-time salary for that position, for those two positions?
Great question. The $500,000 is one-time funding to amend the contract. The contract itself is for 2 years. We are now currently in year 1, so we have until June of 2024. There is an additional funding that we secured through the Mayor's Fund of Los Angeles that pays for the salary for the position, which is our program manager, in addition to about $65,000 that will go to the Black Worker Center. That item is not before you. We are working with the Mayor's Fund to transfer the money over to the Board of Public Works, and then we will come back a second time to do an amendment number 2 for that board. Again, that's in the future, but currently the $500,000 is a one-time pocket of money that was added to the budget.
Correct.
That's good to know. Thanks.
Great, thank you very much, Commissioner Reyes. Any other questions? See none, is there a motion to move item number 4 forward and forthwith?
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, VP Villegas. Dr. Campos, there's a first by Commissioner Reyes and a second by Vice President Villegas to move item number 4 forward and forthwith.
Absolutely. We'll start the voting tabulation. We'll start with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas. President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corzan.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Campos, and thank you very much also for stepping in. Appreciate it. We were able to move it along. Item number 4, item number 5 has been already taken. Item number 6 is withdrawn today. So moving on to item number 7. This is a joint report in Council District 9, Project Labor Agreements, Slauson Connect, recommending the board to, 1, add the Department of Public Works Project Labor Agreement to this project. And this morning we have, this afternoon, I'm sorry, we have Ian Monte for this item. Ian?
Good afternoon, Commissioners and Board and Bureau representatives. My name is Ian Monte, representing the Bureau of Contract Administration, and also here, also representing the Bureau of Engineering with this joint report. Both bureaus are recommending that the board add the Department of Public Works Project Labor Agreement, otherwise known as the PLA, to the Slauson Connect project, which will be advertised in the near future. This project's current physical address is 5820 South Normandy Avenue, which is more or less on the corner of South Normandy and Slauson Avenue, although the actual project site is going to be on the north side of Slauson Avenue between Normandy Avenue and Budlong Avenue. And this location, of course, is again within Council District number 9. The city engineer has estimated a total estimated construction cost of $21 million. And just want to read a very small piece of the scope of work of the project. The Slauson Connect project is being delivered utilizing a design-build methodology and is in the design development stage. The project scope of work will consist of the design and construction of a new recreation facility and park, which will include a child care facility, after-school classrooms, a green screen television studio, editing stations, and a community gathering space on the vegetated roof terrace and covered entrance. I've actually seen renderings of this project and it actually looks really cool. This community is going to benefit greatly from it. But again, to the matter at hand of asking to add the PLA to this project, the PLA provides numerous benefits to the city, as we always talk about, and these benefits include helping to ensure quality work is completed on time, within budget, and performed safely by utilizing skilled workers with a commitment to training, and also facilitating orderly settlements of labor disputes without strikes or other work stoppages. In addition to that, the PLA helps to ensure that maximum community economic benefit is achieved for the city's residents and communities. Based on the average of 13 jobs per $1 million of project costs for completed PLA-covered projects, the Slauson Connect project could potentially generate 273 jobs and continue career opportunities. This is actually my favorite part of this presentation because it's about talking about the jobs, but more importantly, it's about utilizing the language within the project labor agreement that specifically has targeted hiring requirements. And the PLA, utilizing it, will help put that there because there's a requirement to do so. And when you're hiring local workers, that's going to include both apprentices and those transitional workers who have those different barriers to employment, such as, but not limited to, being veterans, having a criminal history, even being documented homeless. And all of those efforts are conducted by the Office of Contract Compliance within the Bureau of Contract Administration. And so thus, the recommendation is again to add the PLA to this particular project, and I am available for any of your questions.
Thank you, Ian, for your very thorough presentation, and you always do a very good job presenting to the board. Any questions on this item, colleagues? Vice President Villegas?
Thank you. I just have a quick question. I would have thought that the project labor agreement would have already been added to it. Why come to the board now? I thought that there are certain triggers, obviously the amount of, the cost for the projects is at $21 million. And I know that in other jurisdictions, anything over like between 5 to 7 million, that triggers PLAs. I would have thought that that's an automatic. I'm wondering what is the reasoning why it has to come to be added?
That's a very good question, and under many circumstances, I would love it to be automatic. However, when we first implement the project labor agreement and we bring it before the board for its ultimately adoption, Attachment E is a list of projects that on that day, the PLA covers all of them. And I want to say there were 172 projects on the last Attachment E that we did a few years ago. Anything that comes before that potentially could have the PLA doesn't officially have it until we bring it before this body to request it. So as much as I would love it to be automatic, immediate, whatever that word would be, it's not. Now, we can always have a discussion with the board and with the city attorney and other members within the Bureau and whoever else may be an interested stakeholder to revisit that and how that process is. But for now, simply because it's not on that particular list, which is not automatically covering the project, we have to come on on an individual basis when we want to add the PLA to a project. Now, the beautiful thing is the current PLA, after year 4, we can do a refresh of what we would call the PIPS list, and that's that Attachment E. And so we can do a forecast of the next 3 to 4 years worth of projects and create an additional list that might have another 100, and then we do one particular presentation for the board, and now all of those projects for the next however many years are covered. But until that happens, again, even for a project like this that's $21 million, or even something that might be $100 million that's not already on that list, we have to come individually.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Yeah, we'll have additional conversations on that, at a later date. That's more of like a policy change or something that we can noodle on further. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas. That was a really good question. Any other questions, comments? I don't think you're going to get, I certainly do not oppose this item because anytime there's a project labor agreement equals jobs and equals jobs to folks that are either getting a second chance or transition or very income barriers. So I just want to say that I really appreciate that you're at the forefront and that you make sure that when PLA needs to happen, it gets implemented. So thank you for that. So with that, actually, is there a second to my motion to approve item number 7?
Second that.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas. Dr. Campos, there's a first by me and a second by Vice President Villegas to move item number 7 forward and forthwith.
Yes, let's start the voting tabulation. We'll start with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corzan.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Thank you, Ian, for your time, and look forward to this project again.
All right, thank you, and thank you for your comments.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 8, this is an AFE by Recology in all council districts. Bureau of Sanitation and the Office of Accounting are requesting board approval and execution of an authority for expenditure in the amount of $750,000 to pay for receipt, processing, and composting of organic waste from the City of Los Angeles Residential Curbside Collection Program to support the expansion of the food waste program in compliance with SB 1383, while long-term contracts are being established with vendors through the RFP process for the duration of funding March 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2022. Authorize the president or 2 members of the Board of Public Works to execute the service agreement. And who do we have here this morning? We have Mr. Vincent Chow. And Mr. Vincent Chow, I could also take number 9 together? Okay, so I'll just read it into the record and then you can do those. This is again item number 9, AFE Recology Blossoms Organic South. Bureau of Sanitation and Office of Accounting are requesting the board approval and execution of any authority for expenditure in the amount of $1,320,000 to pay for receipt, processing, composting of organic waste from the City of Los Angeles Residential Curbside Collection Program to support the expansion of the food waste program in compliance with SB 1383, while long-term contracts are being established with vendors through the RFP process. Duration of funding July 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2023. Authorize the president or 2 members of the Board of Public Works to execute this agreement. And with that, we have Mr. Chow here this afternoon. Welcome.
Okay, good afternoon, President Garcia, Vice President Villegas, President Pro Tem Davis, Commissioner Reyes, Commissioner Corsan, City Attorney, and Executive Officer Dr. Campos. I'm glad to be here today as part of the celebration of the Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. My name is Vincent Chow, an Environmental Engineering Associate with LA Sanitation and Environment. So today, LA San is requesting the approval of the authority for expenditure for Recology Blossom Valley South Organics for the receipt, processing, composting of organic waste collected throughout the City of Los Angeles. For some context, in order to meet our zero waste goals of 90% diversion by 2025, the Senate Bill 1383 legislation mandating the removal of organics from our landfills and the city's goal of citywide residential food waste collection by 2021, LA San released an RFP for the processing of organic waste in October of 2021. This RFP was necessary because organic waste includes both a combination of green waste and food waste, and during this time, our contracted green waste processors, as well as the city-owned green waste facilities, did not have the ability to process food waste. The Recology facility in Lamont, however, can compost a combination of green waste, food waste, and food soil paper products. These organic waste items are broken down to produce compost, which is then marketed back to our farmers who grow grapes, almonds, and other fruits. Under this LOA, Recology received material from carts to their composting facility in Lamont. LA San previously had an LOA with Recology for these services to process organic waste, and this LOA in particular allowed us to continue services until a longer-term contract could be established through the previously mentioned RFP process. This interim work with Recology under the LOA proceeded from March of 2022 all the way through January 2023, when our long-term organic waste contracts were executed in order to begin the citywide rollout of the Curbside Organics Recycling Program. These AEs and LOAs were being processed during that period. However, they experienced delays primarily due to the fact that we expedited and prioritized the processing of the long-term contracts so that the city could meet the implementation goal of January 2023. This LOA was thus split into 2 authorities for expenditures, one for the fiscal year of 2021 to 2022, and another to the fiscal year of 2022 to 2023, which are reflected by items 8 and 9 respectively. With this in mind, we are requesting the approval of the authorities for expenditures for Recology in order to cover the 10.5 months of service that they provided for us in the LOA prior to the execution of the long-term contract. Thank you so much for listening, and I am open to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, sir, for your report. We do have a speaker card on item number 9, so we're going to take the speaker card now, and then we'll come back for any questions. Mr. Arnold Sachs, I believe is what I have. Sachs, yes, you do. For item number 9.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon. Arnold Sachs. Just a couple of things. First of all, the length of the contracts. I know I didn't put a card on a number 8, but the contract for number 8 runs from March 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2022. This is 2023. Why are you taking up an item 2023 that ended over 9 months ago? And this contract for number 9 runs from July 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2023, which is okay. The problem that I come up with is it's the same company. 8 and 9 are both Blossom Organics. Now, I have a problem with the greening of LA and the use of food waste, but I have a problem with who's collecting, who is getting the money, what trash company are they going to use? I mean, there's a lot of trash companies now. It's the franchises. They're killing the city because they're not picking up any waste. I don't know if you've noticed it, but there's a lot of waste that's not being picked up by a lot of these companies. I don't know who reviews these contracts. I don't know who reviews the work that's not being done. There's more trash. There's more litter. There's more homelessness. There's more. Anything negative is going up. Anything positive is going down. Mayor Villaraigosa had a plant 10,000 tree initiative. I don't think they've planted 5,000 trees. The sidewalk in the city, to say it mildly, if I use the word suck, I apologize, but that would be mild. I'm surprised there's not more trip and fall accidents. People are running red lights. There's people dying every day. The accidents are abusive. The fire and police department are getting run ragged. The drugs are prevalent in the city. It's like it's open warfare on drug use. People smoke marijuana everywhere.
2 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Campos.
Thank you for public comment. Public comment is now officially closed for item number 9. Mr. Chow, if you can come back up. Any questions for Mr. Chow? Vice President Villegas?
Yeah, just a quick question. Recology Blossom, they're located where?
They're located in Lamont, which is a city near Bakersfield.
Okay.
Lamont.
Okay. And are they transporting our organics in fuel-efficient cars, do you know, or trucks?
I cannot say so from the top of my head, but I can get back to you later with
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other questions? Any objections to item 8 or 9? Hearing none, is there a motion on the table to move items 8 and 9 forward and forthwith? I don't know, is this your first presentation before the board?
Yes.
Oh, well, congratulations, we had 2 new ones.
You did a great job.
Yes, agreed, you did a very great job.
So move.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas. Is there a second? Thank you, Dr. Davis. Dr. Campos is the first by Vice President Villegas and a second by Dr. Davis to move items number 8 and 9 forward and forthwith.
Yes, let's take the vote. We'll go ahead and start with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corzan.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous again for 8 and 9. Thank
8
you.
and 9. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chow, for your presentation this afternoon. You did a great job.
Thank you.
And I also want to recognize you for your efforts on not only Mr. Hernandez, but Mr. Chow. I saw you mentoring them through the time. So thank you for your time and for your effort here.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Yeah, they both did a great job.
Great analysis.
I love the other encouragement, too. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Campos. All right, moving on to item number 10. This is a request in all council districts and AFE for County of Los Angeles Department of Public Works Land Development Division. Bureau of Engineering and the Office of Accounting are requesting board approval and execution of authority for expenditure in the amount of $24,420 with 31 cents for the services associated with completing the 100% plans for Los Angeles Riverway San Fernando Valley completion program. Let me just double check. And we have a speaker card for item number 10, Mr. Arnold.
Thank you. That's Mr. Sachs. Thank you. But I'll answer to Mr. Arnold, but I don't really like answering to that. This $24,000, how much of this money will cover the graffiti along the Los Angeles Riverway? I distinctly recall some impressive graffiti along the concrete ways along the river. There is graffiti along the 5 freeway and the road that goes out towards the valley over here by Metro. It's pathetic. Does that include it in theirs? By the way, which computer company are you using for the graphics for this kind of work? And about equality, are there requests for proposals going out? And is there a date for them to come back so that they can be reviewed by the city attorney's office? Is that happening? Is there a city attorney that's assigned to look at the form and not just that the form is correct, but that the language in the bid is correct? I've seen a lot of that where they say it's form over function. But form is nothing. You could write a contract on the back of a napkin. And if you get the 2 signatures and you get a proper stamp, it's good. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's a functional contract. So I'm just concerned about the graffiti in this city. It's overwhelming. It is strictly overwhelming. It's a quality of life issue. It's degrading. It is really degrading. There are areas where graffiti is pathetic. I mean, I just heard that the state of California is forcing this county to close down the juvenile detention homes. So who's going to do this work?
2 minutes.
Thank you for the comments. Public comment for item number 10 is now officially closed. And with that, we have this afternoon Mr. Marcelino Asensio. Good to see you, sir.
Hi, thank you, President Garcia. Thank you, President Garcia, commissioners, and welcome guests. My name is Marcelino Asensio. I'm a senior civil engineer. I'm here on behalf of the Bureau of Engineering. I'm here to present item number 10. This is for Bureau of Engineering and Office of Accounting requesting board approval for execution for authority for expenditure, also an AFE, in the amount of $24,420.31 for services by the County of Los Angeles Department of Public Works Land Development Division, specifically for county inspections for underground facilities, plan check fees, and issuance of a permit. This is done in collaboration and conjunction with the county. So this is a required plan check to move the plans forward in the design. That concludes my presentation. I'm here to answer any immediate questions.
Thank you so much, Mr. Asensio, for your report. You did a great job. I don't think this is your first time here.
This is my first time in front of this board, yes.
Oh, wow. Well, congratulations. You always do a great job.
Thank you.
Any questions for Mr. Asensio? Hearing none, is there a motion on the table to move item number 10 forward and forthwith?
So moved.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. Dr. Campos, there's a first by VP Villegas and a second by Commissioner Reyes to move item number 10 forward and forthwith.
Yes, we'll start the vote. What now? We'll start the voting tabulation. We'll start with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corzine.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. See, we had no questions for you.
Great, thank you, commissioners.
Thank you. Have a good rest of the day. Moving on to item number 11. This is by Ms. Martinez, right, Ms. Martinez? Can I take 11, 12, and 13 together? So I'm just going to read the title, and then you can go into the details of it. Yes, I don't have a speaker card for either 11, 12, or 13, so public comment for items 11, 12, and 13 are now officially closed. This is, 11 is in Council District 6, Subcontractor Substitution, Green Building Corporation. Item number 12 in Council District 6, Subcontractor Substitution, Granite Construction Company. And item number 13, Council Districts 9, 12, 14, and 15, for a subcontractor substitution, Axiom Group. And with that, I turn it over to Ms. Martinez.
Thank you, President Garcia. Commissioners, nice to see you all. Thank you. The first one is Green Buildings Corporation's written request was received February 16, 2023, asking to substitute the approved OBE subcontractor United Steel Erectors for the structural steel installation work on the noted project with OBE subcontractor South Bay Iron. The approved amount for United's portion of structural steel installation was $28,800. United withdrew from the contract, citing a lack of manpower and resources. South Bay Iron will complete United's portion of work for the stated amount, and the substitution will be at no cost to the city. Item 12, agenda item 12, a written revised request from Granite Construction was received by BCA on March 15, 2023, to substitute MBE subcontractor Allstate Trucking for trucking work on this project with SBE subcontractor Raymond, I hope I say this right, Uash, Raymond Trucking. Allstate sent a letter of withdrawal citing his truckers were not signatory to a union and that there is currently no vehicle in the PLA that provides an exemption for this issue. His truckers did not want to sign with the union, so therefore they will not perform the work. The bid listed amount for Allstate's portion of trucking work was $44,000. However, the amount submitted for approval by Granite Construction Company for Raymond's portion of work was $57,600, a difference of $13,600. Subsequently, Granite will decrease its prime participation by this dollar amount so that the work performed by Raymond will be at no additional cost to the city. Last item, agenda item 13. Axiom Group's written request was received by BCA on February 6, 2023, to substitute MBE subcontractor R.L. Hayes Jr. Construction Company for civil and concrete work on this project with OBE subcontractor Horizons Construction Company International and Axiom Group's own forces. A certified letter was sent to Hayes informing them of Axiom's intention to substitute them on this project and notifying them that they had 5 business days to submit in writing their objection to the substitution. Hayes did not respond to the certified letter. The bid listed amount for Hayes' portion of civil and concrete work was $282,589. Horizons and Axiom will perform $84,776 and $197,813 respectively, for a total of $282,589. The substitution will be at no additional cost to the city. These subcontractor substitutions and approvals acknowledges both the active status of their California state contractor licenses, the City of Los Angeles Business Tax Registration Certificate, and in the case of Raymond Trucking, their DMV motor carrier permit, and also their City of Los Angeles Business Tax Registration Certificate. This does not supersede any other section of the specifications or federal requirements. We established that they all have complied with the good faith effort and the project labor agreement requirements for these substitutions. We ask that you concur with Mike Davis, President Pro Tem, to approve these substitutions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Martinez, for, again, your time and for taking these items together. Any questions, colleagues? Dr. Davis? Okay, no, you had he moves, of course. Yes, of course, we all agree with you. I'll second Dr. Davis's request. Dr. Campos is the first by Dr. Davis and a second by me to approve items 11, 12, and 13, correct?
Perfect, yes. We'll start the voting tabulation. We'll start with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas. President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corzan.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Again, it's for 11, 12, and 13. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ms. Martinez. It's always good to see you.
Thank you, you too. Thank you all for your service.
Thank you. Have a good rest of the day. Moving on to item number 14, we do have a speaker card for item number 14. Mr. Arnold Sachs.
Thank you again, Arnold Sachs. I know you're only going to rubber stamp this, but it's pretty obvious. This is $25 million that are being added by the mayor. So you cannot say to the mayor no. But I'm pretty upset that they don't put this in city council, where this is a budgeted item. This is going right by city council. So the public really doesn't have an opportunity to talk about this. I don't know where the mayor comes off of coming up with $25 million. Like I said, the state just told the county they have to shut out the youth detention center because it's falling apart. And there's problems with what they're doing, teaching young people in probation how to override security systems. That's insanity. That's not only insanity, that's an insane person teaching an insane person how to get smart. That doesn't work. You can't even use a smartphone to get smart if you're an insane person. I'm really upset with this. A responsible community? Which community is responsible? It's certainly not downtown. It's certainly not along 7th Street. It's certainly not in Santa Monica. It's certainly not in Westwood. The homeless situation is outrageous. Who's responsible? How can you say you have a responsible community when you have such a degraded situation with all these homeless people? I just heard a story this morning. They have hundreds of people sleeping underground in the metro rail stations. That whole system is screwed up because of the construction authorities.
Thank you so much. Public comment is now officially closed for item number 14. Colleagues, this is an administrative item in all council districts. The mayor has approved and authorized the Board of Public Works on behalf of the Office of Community Beautification to execute the approval request to increase contract ceiling amount for only the below specified contracts. C-136650, contract amendment to increase the ceiling amount of an existing contract with the Coalition of Responsible Community Development by an additional amount of $10 million. C-136595, contract amendment to increase the ceiling amount of an existing contract with the Gang Alternatives Program by additional amount of $10 million. And last, C-136804, contract amendment to increase the ceiling amount of an existing contract with New Directions for Youth by an additional amount of $5 million. Is there a second to my motion to adopt this item? Thank you, VP Villegas. Dr. Campos, there's a first by me and a second by Vice President Villegas to adopt item number 14.
Yes, we'll start the voting tabulation. We'll start with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas. President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corzan.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Madam Chair, would you like to move this item forward forthwith?
Yes,
you.
please.
Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. And now lastly, we have finally reached our oral report, and Mr. Miranda is here to present item number 15, Cities, Trees, Bureau Street Services.
Good afternoon, everyone. President Ara Garcia, thank you for your time.
Thank you for hanging in there.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. My name is David Miranda, Urban Forestry Division Manager, and I'm here to present our division's semi-annual oral report for the Bureau of Street Services Streets LA Urban Forestry Division, fiscal year 22-23, July 1st, 2022 to December 31st, 2022. Our Urban Forestry Division responds to tree emergencies through the Mile 831 service requests. Urban Forestry received a total of 6,760 tree emergencies and 3,900 obstruction requests for a total of 10,750 total emergency-related work requests that were received and completed. The average emergency first response time is 0.8 of 1 day and a final cleanup of less than 3 days. This includes rain, wind, and storm events during the fiscal year. Our goal is always to maintain outstanding service equitably citywide. Our team has endeavored with tree trimming equitably amongst 15 council districts. Urban Forestries has a set goal to trim an estimated 50,000 trees in 15 council districts this fiscal year across all programs, including the on-demand. UFD trimmed a total of 19,560 trees and will target to accomplish this tree trimming goal this year. We're also funded for tree removal and stump removals. UFD is actively engaged in removing dead, dying, diseased trees and stumps prevalent citywide. UFD has a set goal to remove 2,000 trees and stumps this fiscal year. UFD removed 980 trees and 1,660 stumps and is on target to accomplish our goal. We also manage and maintain landscape medians. UFD is in the process of finalizing the request for bids for our 4 landscape maintenance contracts for all landscape medians. The current 4 contracts are performing service of approximately 10.5 million square feet of medians once every 2 weeks. The current contracts are expected to expire October 5th, 2023, and new contracts are expected to be awarded prior to the expiration date. We are currently having our 700,000 estimated street tree population inventory by Davies Resource Group. The city's tree inventory started in October 2019, spearheaded by Davies Resource Group, DRG, and as of September 31st, 2022, there have been 755,550 sites collected with 538,150 live trees. DRG completed a data collection and tree inventory for 82 of the 99 certified neighborhood councils, and 14 of the 70 have received tree inventory presentations. DRG identified 189,700 potential tree planting sites to date. UFD continues to receive weekly progress reports from the DRG Group, which provides UFD valued information. The completed neighborhood council tree inventory reports are available to the public on the Bureau of Street Services website, along with an online map of our inventory trees. Tree planting. Urban Forestry Division continues its efforts to sustain the tree population by planting new trees. UFD has planted a total of 908 trees for this reporting period. UFD's estimated goal is to plant, water, and maintain 2,000 trees equitably across all programs by the end of the fiscal year 22-23. The Bureau of Street Services Sidewalk Repair Program. All work combined, Streets Alley UFD crews trimmed and root pruned 128 trees, removed 14 trees, and replanted 10 trees. Bureau of Street Services watering crews continue to water trees throughout the city of LA amongst 15 council districts. An estimated 9,100 trees are watered, and during this watering process, they do weed abatement, any tree care activities that are needed. The BOE Sidewalk Repair Program, Bureau of Street Services Urban Forestry Division has inspected 186 rebate sites for this reporting period, and access request assessments, Bureau of Street Services Urban Forestry Division inspected 264 locations. This concludes the report here today. If you have any additional information or questions, you can contact David Miranda, 213-847-3052, and open to any questions or any suggestions you might have.
Sure. Thank you very much, Mr. Miranda, for your report this afternoon. Colleagues, any questions for Mr. Miranda with the UFT?
Just have one question. Can we get a copy of the report?
Yes.
Thank you. I was going to ask for something like that, so I needed a copy. I needed something in writing. Any other questions, colleagues? Hearing none. No questions, Mr. Miranda. Thank you for your time this afternoon, and also thank you for your service, because you are a critical, pivotal point in the Urban Forest Division, and we really respect your expertise that you have there as well. So thank you for all the hard work that you do out there.
Thank you all for your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good week. All right, colleagues, any other questions, items? Dr. Campos, have we cleared today's desk?
That does clear the desk.
We have?
Yes, it does.
Thank you very much. Colleagues, it's 1:28 and this meeting's officially adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Have a good rest of the week.